Good day, everyone. My name is Julius. I'll be your instructor for the summer and fall of 2020. And today I'm going to introduce you to the basics of SolidWorks if you haven't already gotten familiar with it. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is go over the lines. Actually, no, we'll go through planes. So you have three main planes that you'll ever use, and they're the only ones. So you have your front, top, and right. So your front is your z-axis, top being your y-axis, as your right being your x-axis. And you'll use those to help you construct your various objects. Alright, so first we have lines. So with lines you have a center line, a line, and a midpoint. So lines, you could just click whatever part. So I just click the origin, which is why you have your little axis here representing your y and z. So from here, you could bring it up however high you want, or down to your right, to your left, or diagonal. And if you notice, if I go more vertical, you have a little emblem that pops up that identifies you're in a vertical. Then same thing if you go to your side. You'll have an emblem indicating that you're being horizontal. So you could go here, draw them out, and then if you notice, there's a little faded line, and that's so you can line it back up. So I could stretch down all the way here, and it'll still be lined up. Alright. So now, if we want to delete, if we want to get out of this, we'll press escape. Now if we want to delete, we'll get left click, and we could just drag this little green screen across, and then press delete, and then it's gone. Midpoint is relatively close to being the same clearly, but clearly works different. So here we'll click the origin. So instead of building up all in one direction, it'll build up in two, going to the opposing side. So if you go up, it'll build down. If you build to your sides, it'll build up to the opposite side. The same thing diagonal. Center line, it's more or less used for construction. We'll go through that a little later. Next we have circle. And with circles you have two basic formats. You have circle and parameter circle. So with just standard circle, you're going to click a point. You'll click a point and you'll just drag out and it'll build up your radius. And you can go any direction, it'll always be the same. Alright, so now we're going to use the parameter circle. And that you'll indicate your x-axis first, and you could build out whichever way you want. Then you build up your y-axis. So making 2 points, and you just expand your circle however so. And that you can use to change up things. You can use these coordinates here and change out how the circle looks, but you're most likely not going to use this kind of circle. Alright, next you have rectangles. So rectangles, they start from a corner and you just build up. And it works the same as a line in a way. And if you want to change the shape of, let's say, a rectangle, you'll use your smart dimension. And if you notice, the left side and bottom side, they're both black, indicating that the opposite sides of those two are equal. So if we do this left side, and you see how it says it's 2.48, we'll say it's 5. So now if we go here to the bottom and we say we want it to be 8, so shorter, both the top and bottom shrink because they're equal in size. If they weren't, it will become more lopsided. So same thing with this. So we change the 5 to, let's say, 3. Now both the left and right sides shrink. And if we were to do it with a circle, it would affect, so this is going to do the diameter. Then if we do this, it's still diameter. And let's say we want the diameter to be 12. Alright, but if we want the radius to be 24, because we could put in the 12, put the little star representing times, then put 2, and it'll change to being 24. Alright, so one of the key things you'll end up using, alright, so we're actually going to go back to a little rectangle, and we'll just do that. So far I've gone over how to do two-dimensional shapes and the basics on that and what you're mainly going to use. Now when you start to get to three-dimensional, you're going to use your extrude boss base. So if it didn't already, you would click the face you want, and where it says 5 inches, that's going to be how far it comes out. So we could say it's 8 and you see it gets longer, we could say it's 2 and it clearly gets shorter. Now right here, actually you see these two arrows with the one being darker and the other one being lighter. That changes the direction as it will be extruded. And here where it says blind, we could change up the way it will expand. Mainly these four, the vertex, surface, offset, and up to body, won't really be used, but there could be circumstances that it will be used. Mid-plane, it just distributes the extrusion to both sides equally. So right now it's extruded 1 inch on both. So now we could say we want 4. Now it's doing 2 inches per side. Alright. Now we'll talk about a circle. You could do the same thing with a circle. You can extrude it just the same. Click here and it'll just expand however you want. But let's say we wanted a curve to revolve around, kind of like this weird macaroni. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to go here, and now this is where our center line could come in. So we'll click our center line, we'll draw it down however far you want. So I want it to be 10 inches down. So I'll go to that. So now I'll go back, click my center line, I'll expand however I want, because this honestly doesn't matter. Your center line is just used to help you construct and get to certain aspects without intruding measurements. Alright, so we'll get out by clicking escape. Now we'll click our revolved boss base. So now if you look here, it says axis of revolution. We're going to want to click the longer line, and now as you can see, it's made a donut. So now let's say we want to edit that. So we're going to right click, and if you look right here, it says edit feature. We'll edit that, and now let's say we want to do it, have it go and do 180 degrees instead, so half. Now we have a little macaroni, and you can use the little arrows here to decrease the angles or increase. And one of the last major things you should know for your basics is if you look right here on the bottom corner, we have the little thing that says IPS. And this is your form of measurements. And as you progress through this, you'll learn that you're not only dealing with length, but you'll also deal with weight. So here we have, inch, pound per and second. Then we have millimeter, gram, second, and everything else, as you can see. Typically, we deal with the millimeter, gram, and second. Certain things will indicate what kind of basis of measurement you should use, but if it doesn't, just go straight to the mmgs. And that is just your basic introduction so you could get an idea of how this program works for now. I hope you found this very helpful, and I'll looking forward to teaching another time.